Many veterans who are considering TDIU are either attending or considering attending school. This is especially common in times where the job market is bad, or veteran expects their conditions maybe to improve over time, and so they're thinking long-term, looking ahead. Because of that, we often hear people ask, does going to college or training imply that I can work and might not be eligible for TDIU? The short answer is that having education or pursuing education does not automatically disqualify you from TDIU eligibility. However, to avoid VA making mistakes in your case, it's important to be transparent and clear about your functional challenges in school or in training, or any limitations you think you might have if you're considering going forward with schooling. So in this segment, we're going to talk about how to do just that.
Yeah, so education alone does not equal employability.
Right.
VA evaluates employability, not enrollment status. And having or pursuing education does not automatically prove employability. Based on what we've seen at the board and the Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims, VA should accept arguments that attendance in school programs of any kind does not prove the veteran can maintain competitive work. Veterans can be capable of studying, but unable to meet productivity expectations, stress, interaction with coworkers, meeting deadlines in a work-like setting. So education doesn't necessarily translate to employability. Mm-hmm. Some obvious examples are veterans who can attend online classes but cannot maintain regular attendance or concentration in a work-like setting. Veterans who need frequent breaks or miss weeks of coursework due to PTSD, migraines, chronic pain. So it's not a one-for-one.
Right. And so like you said, going to school is not the same as working, but the type and intensity of your schooling probably matters. And so if you're full-time, on campus in a really complex high-intensity degree program, that might suggest higher functional capabilities unless the evidence shows accommodations, maybe extended test-taking time, frequent absences, reduced course load, and like you said, difficulty with group projects or social interactions. Evidence that can help you show that this schooling is, yes, it's on campus full time, but it's not the same as work. Are letters from professors or disability coordinators, documentation of those extensions, withdrawals, or even unfortunately it happens, course failures, and then maybe mental health records or medical records. Describing the inability to complete assignment. So if you talk about this with either a therapist or you talk about it with your pain specialist doctor, how this is impacting your day-to-day, that can be really important evidence.
TDIU is always a fact-driven decision. So veterans should proactively document concentration problems, attendance issues, cognitive or emotional barriers, difficulty completing work-like tasks, so deadlines, collaboration, routine. This is good documentation to have for those TDIU, for TDIU cases in general. Rather than threatening TDIU status, education can be a good source of examples to support unemployability. Mm-hmm. If, for example, the veteran struggles to complete even reduced workloads, inability to complete coursework, to complete semesters, quarters, even evidence that maybe they've received incompletes, right? Mm-hmm. That throughout the course of their educational training.
The bottom line is that a veteran can pursue TDIU and education. The only question that VA really should be asking is whether the veteran can maintain substantially gainful employment, not whether you can go to school. But to be safe, veterans should carefully document their challenges and any accommodations they get during education.